girls of all internets around the world. Crypto fanatics, gather around. Anyways, alright, so I'm gonna start off with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, right, clean this. Last live video that I went on, I was talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum having a little down pressure during the nighttime, but as we get towards the morning, we should then pick up and continue with this slight push on up. If you go on Ethereum, so look, I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna put my drawings. Actually, still is an important part. All right, so right here, Ethereum has been on a trend line. A trend, my bad. There's a 1 hour time frame. So notice how Ethereum has been on this trend right here. You see them, see right there. On that same trend, it needed to take a little retest on down. So I said that if anything during the nighttime, Ethereum was gonna come down, test this weekly right here, this blue line. If you go to the weekly candle, you're gonna see over here in the past, there was a weekly line right here. So I know that it's gonna act like a support. It's gonna try to break that support or test it, not break it, but test it. And as that happened, you would Ethereum, Bitcoin's pumping. So then once Bitcoin hit a certain peak, then that's when I said, now that Bitcoin hit a certain peak while Ethereum was kind of dropping last night, as Ethereum starts breaking this trend line, it's going to test this weekly resistance right here. I mean, weekly support. On top of that, it's going to test my indicator. My indicator is telling you where the 1 hour candle, where it's going to have that stop if it does go down because of support. And then once it creates support there and starts going up, I said, then you guys see also Bitcoin start pumping up again. And I said by either 5 or 9 in the morning, you're going to then see Bitcoin on that same box where it was stuck. It's going to continue going up again and touch that resistance. Now I'm going to show you guys Bitcoin. There's Ethereum, 1 hour candle. You see how Ethereum's now pumping up slowly? I'm going to show you Bitcoin. Big difference. You see the upward movement now? Goddamn, somebody's going to pick me up right now. I go out, see some breakfast. Oh yeah, my bad. It's Arizona time, so it's 8 in the morning here, coming date. So look, so see the opposite? So now that you're seeing Ethereum start picking up again, now you're seeing Bitcoin with more power. And I'm going to put my bullshit up, my bad for cussing. I'm going to put my stuff up. So you see now it's in the peak? Now it's in the peak. So I said by 5 in the morning, we're either going to be right here or by 9 in the morning. So it's 9 o'clock. And it makes sense because the next 4 hour candle that we close is at 9 a.m. here in Arizona. So it's going for it. So we're going to close here, either here at 119,147, or we're going to end up breaking inside of this weekly, or just closing underneath. And then from 9 o'clock to 1, again, there's going to be your zone right here to break through because it's 2 weekly. We have 2 weekly resistance, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So we'll go to the past. Here's Bitcoin. You see that weekly right here? You see how these 2 weeks close in the same area, and you have one over here? That area is going to be hard to pass, and that's why I'm mentioning that. And that's because once Bitcoin goes through that, buddy, you don't have no really hard resistance. You have dailies, you have a 12 hour candle resistance here, all these white lines. There's a 1 hour candle resistance, there's a 3 hour candle, and anyways, you don't have no hard resistance. All you have is little light candles or whatnot. So and think about it, at the end of the week too, we're breaking the final weekly resistance that Bitcoin has. So it's going for the move. And on top of that, that's pretty, I keep saying this, that's a pretty close to the all-time high. If Trump or anybody in the politics, if they don't tweet nothing bad, on the contrary, they tweet something positive, especially they normally do it around 3 hours on a Sunday or 4 hours before the market opens. So around 11, 12 o'clock, you start maybe Trump tweeting something good, which then will make Bitcoin boost on even more higher, and then you're gonna see the S&P close open in the same area or a little bit higher, making a new all-time high, or trying to whatnot, but then come back down again because this week is gonna be very, very, very hot. And again, the S&P and crypto are synchronized. That's why every time the S&P goes down, whether it be terrorists, whether it be Iran bombing, you're going to see crypto fall at the same time. Otherwise, Bitcoin would have been flying already. Bitcoin would have been in the 200,000s of all the money, all the crypto that's being bought by the banks, by the government, all the good news. It's like a stock. It's like when people think about it, if your favorite stock was, you hear every day how dozens of countries, banks, politicians, artists are buying that stock. That stock will skyrocket like crazy, but it's not happening with crypto. It's being compressed because they have to be same as S&P. You don't want Bitcoin to shoot up way crazier, no, you want it to go with the S&P. The S&P goes down, it goes down. Otherwise, it's gonna get more popularity, more people are gonna get involved, so they gotta manipulate it. Anyways, back to this shit right here. Don't want to bore you guys. So again, either by 9 o'clock, this Bitcoin 1 hour candle. By 9 o'clock, we're either gonna struggle, just keep leaving wicks. So with a 1 hour candle, we're gonna leave a wick and close here at 9, or it's gonna break through it and close inside of here. Then from 9 o'clock to 1, it's gonna try to break through this. It's most likely gonna struggle. And then from 1 to 5, it's gonna try to really break through this because it knows it's the last 4 hour candles, especially around 3, which is when the S&P 500 opens. Not opens to the public, but it's active again. And you guys see it, especially it knows because from 3 to 5, that's the half point. So there's going to be way more activity at the end of the week. It's very bullish. Ethereum's pumping. That's why you guys see more activity towards the end. But that's it for now, you guys. Yeah, and Ethereum's going to hold there. And Ethereum's most likely, again, this is your breaking point. This is, if you break this, just like Bitcoin. If it breaks this final resistance, look how the both also breaking through the final weekly resistance. No, not Ethereum, but Bitcoin. And after Ethereum breaks this, Ethereum's gonna fly much easier without no really turbulence, because there's nothing really that's gonna stop it. All you have is this weekly, which is trying to break right now, and over here on the top, this monthly and weekly. That's last monthly all-time high. That ain't people. So this week, we get some good news with S&P, and the S&P creates a new all-time high. You bet that Ethereum's gonna go to its all-time high, and Twitter's already screaming, but people have no clue how much money this year people are gonna make from crypto, especially from Ethereum. They're not seeing the signs. I've been saying this for the last week, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. S&P and crypto are gonna make new all-time highs. But anyways, I'll catch you guys up later. This is Brian Secret saying.